My name is Caroline Rubel and I'm doing Fundamental Theorem of Algebra. I got my information from Merriam/Webster.com and Coach Java. The definition for corollary is including complex roots and multiple roots. An nth degree polynomial equation has exactly n roots. The related polynomial function has exactly n zeros. Definition for theorem is if px is a polynomial of degree n greater than or equal to 1 with complex coefficients, then px equals 0 has at least one complex root. Oh, I'm not done. The definition for irrational root theorem is if p divided by q is in simplest form and is a rational root of the polynomial equation a. I can't read that.
Well, just a polynomial equation.
Part of the equation with integer coefficients, then p must be a factor of a0 and q must be a factor of an. A theorem. Definition for a theorem in algebra. Every equation which can be put in the form with 0 on one side of the equal sign and a polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1 with real or complex coefficients on the other has at least one root which is a real or complex number. Complex number a plus b I. Real number is any number. Objective of why I'm solving this. Find a number is complex or real numbers that makes the equation 0. I'm not going to show an example. We're finding all our solutions for this equation, x cubed plus x squared minus x plus 2. And since this x is cubed, that's how many zeros we need to find. So we need to get our p and our q. This is going to be our p and this is going to be our q. So our p is 1 and our q is 2. Then we're going to have to find the multiples of 2. We're going to get 2 equals positive and negative 1, positive and negative 2. After that, we have to plug each of these into this equation to see which one equals to 0. So we can have our 3 zeros. So we're going to get 1 cubed plus 1 squared minus 1 plus 2, which equals 3. So since that is 3, that's not one of our zeros, so we're going to use negative 1 cubed plus negative 1 squared minus negative 1 plus 2, which equals 1. Then we're going to use 2 cubed plus 2 squared minus 2 plus 2, which equals 12. And that's not one of our numbers, so now we're going to use negative 2 cubed plus negative 2 squared minus negative 2 plus 2 equals 0. So we found our 0, so negative 2 is our 0. Now we need 2 more zeros, so now we're going to use synthetic division. We're going to plug negative 2 right here. Then we're going to get numbers in front of every variable plus the 2. So we're going to use 1, 1, negative 1, and 2. Okay, then we're going to bring the 1 down, then we're going to multiply negative 2 and the bottom number, which is going to give us negative 2. Then we're going to add these two, and whatever it equals, we're going to put under it. So this is going to be negative 1. Then negative 2 times negative 1 is 2. Then we're going to add these two, which is going to be 1. Then negative 2 times 1 is going to be negative 2. and negative 2 plus 2 equals 0. Then after that, we're going to plug it into a new equation, which is going to be x2 minus x plus 1. I got that because this is 1, so that's going to be x2. And then you're going to bring the negative 1 down, and that's going to be negative 1x. And you're going to bring the other number down, which is plus 1. And we're not going to bring 0 down because it's 0. Then, to find our other 0, we're going to use the quadratic formula. If you cannot factor it, you're going to use a quadratic formula, which is b plus minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a equals x. Then you're going to, so now we have to match these up with our variables. So this is a, this is b, and this is c. b is going to be negative 1 plus minus square root of negative 1 squared minus 4. Then we're going to bring our a over here, which is 1, times our c, which is another 1, divided by 2, and then a, which is 1.
Okay. It's negative b. So put negative b. It's negative b plus or minus. See it? On the top, the formula should be negative b plus or minus.
What?
The original,
Yeah, this?
it should be no other one. The b outside. Last b.
This?
Yeah, it should be a negative b.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, and then it should be a plus. There you go. Good.
So this should be negative b, and then negative 1 with the negative is going to equal to 1. So then after that, we're going to solve it. So this is going to be dragged down to 1 plus or minus negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. Then that's going to be minus 2. 4 times 1 is 1, which is 4, divided by 2. Then after that, we're going to drag this down and do square root of 3, negative 3 divided by 2. Since this is a negative, you're going to put an I in front of it.
Why? Complex number.
Because it's a complex number. So it's going to be 1 plus or minus I 3 divided by 2. Then our 2 zeros are going to be,
Rewrite one positive, one negative.
or our two complex numbers. One, we're going to put this, and one has to be positive, and one's going to be negative. So it's going to be 1 plus I 3 divided by 2. And our other complex number is going to be 1 minus I square root of 3 divided by 2. And those are our complex numbers.
And those definitely zeros. You good?